Hey, what's goody, Frye gang? I know what you're about to say, but don't mind the Foam Stars gameplay in the back. You know, I had to throw in a little something that y'all weren't gonna expect. I mean, this video is not about Foam Stars, but I thought it'd be funny to put some Foam Stars gameplay in the back. But this shit was from like half a year ago, bro. I have no idea how Foam Stars has changed since then, since I've heard absolutely nothing about Foam Stars since release. One thing I did see though, it was kind of funny. There's a tweet saying that Foam Stars starting October 4th is going free to play again. So I mean, these motherfuckers are getting desperate for people to actually play their game, all right? Because nobody, absolutely no one is talking about Foam Stars. So they're trying to get as many people in as they can by making it free to play again, which I don't know why they didn't just keep it free to play. It's already a live service game with microtransactions. Why does it need to be paid for anyway? They should have just kept that shit free to play. But and a lot of people in the replies, like 80% of the replies were just people crying about no PC port. Like, where's a PC port? PC port? Where's a PC version? It was kind of hilarious. But yeah, this game, it's been forever since I might have to like go and play it again just to check out and see all the new stuff and see what's happening, bro. The same for Genshin. I haven't played that shit since like October of last year, and apparently has a new endgame mode, which is like the biggest update that's ever been added to Genshin. They added more endgame. Oh, no more anxiety. But I can't play Genshin anymore. I switched over to Honkai Star Rail. Oh my god, it's infinitely better. HSR is fucking amazing. It's so much better than Genshin. That and Wuthering Waves, especially Wuthering Waves. Goated fucking game. Alright? Goated game. HSR and Wuthering Waves. Shit, even Zenless Zone Zero. Just play anything other than Genshin. Regardless, that's not what any of this video is about. A lot of people, I think, are getting the wrong idea or thinking about Grand Festival wrong. A lot of people seem to think that Grand Fest is going to predict the future game, like the next Splatoon game, whether that be Splatoon 4 or some kind of spin-off or whatever, which I mean makes sense considering the final Splatfest of Splatoon 1. Marie won the Splatfest, so that meant Callie was the one getting abducted by DJ Octavio in 2, and I'm sure it would have been the other way around if Callie won. Splatoon 2's Final Fest, Chaos vs. Order, that was going to dictate the theme of Splatoon 3, and I feel like this Grand Festival, Final Fest, which people get upset when I call it Final Fest for some reason, when that's literally what it is. It is the Final Fest. I don't know what else to tell you, but just like Splatoon 2, I'm pretty sure Splatoon 3, it's more so going to affect the theme and overall feel of the game, the aesthetic of the next Splatoon game, and not I don't think the next game is going to be based on like whatever team wins in this Splatfest. I don't think the entire game is going to be centered around that. Like Splatoon 2, Chaos vs. Order, Chaos won, which would determine the theme of Splatoon 3. And Splatoon 3, it's not as chaotic as you would think, or it's more just like the theme of chaos. Like, yeah, the Splatlands look kind of run down and bummy and ghetto, kind of like chaotic and all over the place, and even the music has a very chaotic feel. Like Seaside, listen to their version of Splatak or Now or Never. It's very like chaotic and rebellious all over the place. Kind of sounds more alternative and like punk, which makes sense, which is punks are typically typically related to like rebellion and anarchy, and that's all like chaotic, and anarchy is already a big theme in Splatoon 3 with like the anarchy game modes, the anarchy splatcast. So anarchy and chaos kind of go hand in hand. You really get that feel from Splatoon 3, but if you really think about it, nothing is all too chaotic. There's not like violence throughout the streets, rioting, graffiti all over the fucking place, places on fire, people stealing. Like the Inklings and Octolings are still relatively orderly, at least in terms of like how they go about society. It's not like, and it's funny that anarchy and chaos are a huge like theme, or we're supposed to be, but they still like follow a kind of like societal norm and like under control. even though there hasn't really been stated that there's a government, they still kind of, you know, they still kind of live like we do here in real life. It's not really as chaotic as you think. So I feel like, because like they're still like taking shifts at Grisco, that's a job, that's like a federal like governmental thing. It's regulated and all of that, you know, poorly regulated, but it's still regulated. And they're still like having turf wars and the ranked modes, and they're still playing by the rules. So they're still kind of following rules in the way they live and everything. So I mean, it's not really as chaotic as we were maybe led to believe. Now, Side Order, on the other hand, has a lot more of an orderly feel to it than Splatoon 3 does with Chaos. Maybe it's just because everything is so goddamn white. Everything is white, and white typically represents like order, which makes sense. And Splatoon 3 or Side Order kind of feels very like in line and orderly. I don't really know how to explain it, but it feels like the embodiment of order. I feel like Side Order got it right, and Side Order did order better than Splatoon 3 did chaos, if that kind of makes sense. But regardless, I kind of feel like that's going to be the way the next Splatoon game is going to like take place. So say if like past one, I highly doubt we're going to be like playing a game like in the past and experiencing the Great Turf War. As cool as that would be, that kind of destroys the entire point of Splatoon, because like the regular turf wars and game modes wouldn't be there, because those all haven't been established yet, and Grisco hadn't even been established yet. And even if all of those things were there in the very primitive stages, all the Inklings would be too busy fighting in the Great Turf War against the Octarians to even be able to do all the ranked modes or table turf or fucking Grisco and all of that. So there wouldn't really be anything to do. How would the game really work outside of like a story mode? Obviously the story mode would be focused on like the Great Turf War, but how would online work if none of the stuff was around? Because Glenn Fiddler wouldn't have built the Deca Tower yet, so no turf wars, no anarchy modes. So how the hell would we play online? What would that be like? Online Great Turf War? How would that work? I don't know. And then if Future One, how would that really be any different? How would that really be futuristic unless they make some like massive, like never before seen in the series changes, so like huge improvements to like a huge new mechanic or whatever else. The Splatoon games have stayed relatively the same and consistent in what they do. If Future One and they did base the entire game off of like in the futures, they'd have to change pretty much everything pretty drastically, depending on how far in the future it's based in. And if the present one, then I mean, what would really change? It would just be Splatoon 3.5, or I guess Splatoon 2.5, since it wouldn't really be based on chaos. Maybe it would. Yeah, because if going chronologically, then it would just be Splatoon 3.5. Like nothing would really change if the game was still based in the present. So I highly doubt the game itself is going to be centered around that theme or set in that theme. I don't think it's going to be set in the past, present, or future. It'll just be kind of aesthetically themed after the past, present, or future. So like if past one will have like a relatively modern society, but it would take on more of a like feudal Japan look, or like a look and more feel from the past or wherever it's set in. Because there is a rumor that Splatoon 4 or the new game is going to be set in a different region other than the Splatlands, and I'm pretty sure the Splatlands are based on Japan. I heard either that or the like North America, I don't remember. But if the rumors are true that the next game is going to be based somewhere else, then if past one, then the game would be themed after a past area of that area in real life. And if future one, I really don't know how future would work. If future one, how a game would like futuristically work, or how it would work like futuristic aesthetics. I don't really understand that, unless it's like the generic typical future look that you see in like sci-fi and whatever, like everything's all white, everything's flying and super technologically advanced and everything. So I'm not really sure how that would work, unless we get to like a play anarchy in like big ass fucking mechs. Okay, imagine like we rolling around in Rainmaker with a fucking Skell from Xenoblade X, like a big ass mech. I know there's only like 4 of you who even understand what I just said there, but imagine, but we playing Rainmaker with Skells, and then you just pop out Phoenix Wings. And for those of y'all who don't play Xenoblade X, Phoenix Wings, it would work almost exactly like Booyah Bomb. It's basically just like a big ass fiery AoE around your Skell that comes out. I might put up a clip to show you what I'm talking about, but you could use that as like your special. It's basically Booyah Bomb. It'd be so fucking cool walking around fighting in fucking like big ass mechs. That'd be great. But yeah, for future, I don't really know how that would aesthetically work. And then present, I mean, it would just be the next Splatoon game. Nothing would really be that different. So, and that's another reason why I think they're not going to base the next game in that certain time period, because if it's present, then it's just another Splatoon game. Nothing's really different. So I'm pretty sure it's either going to be like thematically in that time period, like themed after the past, present, or future, or they could do some like super meta thing and have like the story mode. You can travel into the past or into the future depending on which game wins, and if present wins, then they just go with a whole completely different story. But I'm not really a fan of that. I don't want time travel in Splatoon 3 or Splatoon in general. Every fucking thing these days has time travel, and everything's about a multiverse and time travel. It's so boring. It's so exhausting. I'm tired of everything having a multiverse, everything having time travel. All right, I really do not need that in Splatoon. All right. Especially like, and I'm about to rant for a second with Bayonetta. Bayonetta, I love that series. I fucking adore the Bayonetta series. And Splatoon or Bayonetta 3 it just fucking ruined the whole series. At least the story, the ending of the story just ruined the whole fucking series. I'm not going to spoil any of it. Well, okay, I want to talk about it, but I highly doubt any of you watching this video right now even know what Bayonetta is. And for those of y'all who do, I'm pretty sure you've already played Bayonetta 3. So I doubt any of you are actually planning on playing the game. But just in case there's those 2 people crying in the comments about, oh my god, you spoiled the game, delete your channel. I'm not going to spoil anything, but Bayonetta 3 absolutely ruined the fuck out of the entire series, and like the entire timeline is all fucked up. It's not fucked up, but it's just once you find out the big twist at the end, it's like, really? Are you fucking serious? It just ruins the whole mood. I fucking hate the way they handled that. It pisses me off to this day. But I really do not want time travel or multiverse in Splatoon. That would be so fucking dumb. All right, we already went to space. We don't need time travel. Holy shit. But yeah, I think people expecting the next Splatoon game or like Grand Fest to predict when the next Splatoon game is taking place. I don't think it's gonna predict when it's taking place, more so the aesthetic, because that would be quite a bit. Like, how would you even make a game set in the future unless, like I said, they made some like huge massive changes? And the same thing, how would you set a game in the past? None of the things we have that are staples in Splatoon, like the ranked modes, Turf War, Grizzco, none of that would be around way back then during the Great Turf War. And I mean, who's to say it even has to be set during the Great Turf War? It could be set earlier or later. There's not really any gauge of when it's going to be set. But either way, it'd be kind of hard to put the games in those time periods. And then there'd be some weird ass like timeline shit if it was set in the past. Maybe Splatoon 4 will be a massive sequel to the entire series so far. I don't know, it'll just get messy. So I'm pretty sure it just handles the aesthetics, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see until like what, 2030, when the next Splatoon game comes out. But we'll see. What do y'all think about all that? Because I don't know. I think it's more so just going to be the theme and not so much the time period. But it is whatever. But yeah, that's about it. See you next mission and play some goddamn Splatty.